Y'all, it is going down. Have you heard, child? Virginia, Massachusetts, thus far, got some things going on. And there are some doctors, lawyers, elected officials, people in the government that need to be worried, child.
Today's charges should make one thing clear. No one is above the law.
Nobody.
Doesn't matter where you live. Doesn't matter what your job is, how much money you have. Human beings are not for sale.
Developing tonight, a major bust. At least 3 people are accused of running a network of sophisticated brothels around Boston and in Virginia.
Federal investigators say the group of high-end buyers included doctors, lawyers, and elected officials. Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward is live outside Boston Federal Court, where, Bob, 2 of the suspects were just before a judge.
Yeah, that's right. 2 out of the 3 people arrested in this case were picked up in Massachusetts this morning, and they made their initial appearance right here at the federal courthouse in South Boston. They appeared over Zoom. Now, all 3 of these suspects, if they are convicted, are looking at some substantial time in prison.
This commercial sex ring was built on secrecy and exclusivity, catering to a wealthy and well-connected clientele, and business was booming. Until today.
Boston's U.S.
Oh, we have no doubt that business was booming. Oh, we have no doubt. The question is, who was it? What's the names? Especially the elected officials. I think y'all need to be letting us know immediately. Did they know before the election on Tuesday? Did they know before the elections on Tuesday?
Attorney announcing charges against 3 people for allegedly running an elaborate high-end brothel network in the greater Boston area and in eastern Virginia. Authorities say the clients from high-paying careers, including elected officials, government contractors with security clearances, doctors, lawyers, and more, paid to have sex with women in expensive apartments in Cambridge and Watertown and in Virginia.
Human trafficking is an abhorrent crime. It affects an estimated 25 million people in the United States.
So is selling yourself now called human trafficking? I thought human trafficking was when you took someone against their will and then you took them someplace else and made them do something. Or is it something different? Maybe, I don't know. And I don't want to interrupt the video with looking it up, but y'all let me know, okay? I thought human trafficking is when someone took somebody against their will and made them do something someplace else. Do we know that that's what this is? Do we know if these people were willing participants or not? I mean, I'm not trying to be, what is the word, unsympathetic to anyone in this situation, okay? But lest we not act like we don't see that women be out here basically saying the exact same thing. Oh, if you give me this, I'll do that. If you give me this, I'll do that. Unless you do this, I won't do that. Ain't that the same thing? Is that trafficking as well? I be confused the way people just change the meaning of words these days. I'm just trying to get an understanding.
And abroad.
According to a federal criminal affidavit, the women's services were advertised on 2 websites. The ads presented as photo sessions for nude Asian models for professional photography. But in fact, federal investigators say the women were offering sex for up to $600 an hour. The men were allegedly vetted through a website where they had to list their names, phone numbers, and employers. Once accepted.
You dummies. You dummies. 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 You basically leaving your own daggone trail electronically. So imagine who, let me not name no names, but just imagine that they be somebody who is the head of some big security firm, government contracted person, blah, 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 got his twit card and his this, that, and the third, and he's got the highest level of security clearance. He probably can get close to some of the highest people in the daggone world. Gonna go to a website, put in his real GD name, his real damn address, his real information as far as where he works and how much he makes, because you know, gotta confirm that you can afford the cost. So if they put in their paycheck, for instance, a copy of their taxes to prove how much money they have, Maybe their accreditations for those that are doctors and lawyers and things of that nature. Their certificate from their college or whatever you call it. Y'all was willing to put it all on the effing line just to lay down with some girls, women, little girls. I don't know, child. I don't know. You get this far in your life, you have the respect of your community. You probably got whole families, children, wives, girlfriends, side pieces, all that. All that. You could have took your ass on over to, where do they be going? Wherever the passport bros be going, wherever the hell y'all be going. You could afford to go do that and have someone come to you willingly without putting your life, your livelihood, and everything else in jeopardy. Dummies. Dummies. No empathy, no sympathy.
The men chose women from a menu, which included a woman's height, weight, and bust size. 41-year-old Han Lee of Cambridge was arrested for running the alleged ring. 30-year-old Young Lee was arrested at his apartment in Dedham. A third suspect was arrested in California. Authorities are not yet saying if the names of any of the clients will be revealed.
We're in the first or second inning right now, and we bring the charges we have available at the time we need to take down an operation like this. But we're in the early stages.
Federal officers busted a cross-country prostitution ring that operated in our own backyard. Federal officials charged 3 people with a sophisticated brothel ring that operated from locations in Northern Virginia. A report claims the ring used apartments in Fairfax and Tysons. Matt Gregory is live outside the Hanover Tysons apartment. Matt, we've learned many of the clients were pretty high profile.
Names.
Yeah, Allison, inside this 60-page affidavit, this indictment about the case, prosecutors allege that there were military personnel with security clearances as well as politicians. And how do they know that? Well, according to these documents, it says that the prostitution ring actually asked for what was the equivalent of a resume for their clients. This is a big case coming through, and with it happening in our backyard, we want to stay on top of it. So let's take you through what...
Wait a minute. See, this is what I just said. This is what I just said. Y'all putting your name, your social security number, your passport ID, your this ID, you probably holding up your badges, you probably giving them your twit card and whatever the heck it is that they use in order to get into the places that they can get into in order to do this. Dummies. Dummies. I might have to title this thing Dummies. You big dummy. Shout out to Fred Sanford.
This 60-page indictment says. Now, yesterday, the Massachusetts acting U.S. attorney released the results of this multi-year investigation. He said that this started back in 2020. This sex ring began operating with locations outside of Boston and right here in Northern Virginia. It advertised online as a professional nude photo shoot service where clients could book appointments. But the DOJ says instead they were selling sex. According to the report, the conspirators used their network to persuade, induce, and entice women to go to Virginia and Massachusetts for prostitution. The DOJ said many of the victims were women of Asian descent. Now, clients would pay up to, ready for this, $600 an hour for sexual acts. The client...
I'm trying to understand what this reads right here. Is this supposed to be... How do you know? That's what I want to know. Like, if you see an ad and it's saying that you're going to be a model or you can be a model, what in that ad says, oh, X trafficking, prostitution, yeah, let me go ahead and call this number. Like, what am I missing? What am I missing?
Would meet at high-end apartments like Hanover Tysons and the Avalon Mosaic apartments. And some of the rents on these apartments, these are as high as $3,500 a month.
They can afford
it. The
it.
prostitution ring would arrange for women's airline travel and for transportation. Now, as a result of this...
Oh, sucky now. Okay, so then because they were flued out, is that where the trafficking goes to? Now we getting somewhere. This is more updated information, y'all.
Investigation, police arrested 3 people. Han Lee, 41 of Cambridge, Massachusetts. James Lee, 68 of Torrance, California. And Jun-Myung Lee, 30 of Dedham, Massachusetts. The acting U.S. attorney says in the charge of this case, he was saying the client's number in the hundreds.
They are doctors, they are lawyers, they're accountants, they're elected officials, they are executives at high-tech companies.
Oh, you need to name names. What are we waiting for?
They're military officers, government contractors, professors, scientists. Pick a profession, they're probably represented in this case.
Now, as to whether or not those clients will be revealed or charged, the U.S. attorney would not say. But if you're wondering, how are they able to secure leases at high-end apartments like this one right here in Tysons? Well, according to this affidavit, they had fraudulent bank statements as well as agreements that reached both here and, like I said, up to Boston. There's much more we have on this story on our website, WUSA9.com, and we're going to continue following the story as it develops and goes from investigation to criminal court cases.
Woo, child, this is a mess.com, and I'm here for it. I'm waiting for them names to be named because we need to know. It's the public. We need to know. Tell us. We need to know who we electing, okay? Because this is half damn crazy. Especially, y'all, they could be using, like, funds from whatever business that they're in. Like, we can assume that they're using their own money, but what if they're using money from their businesses, commingling money that they get from their whatevers, y'all, okay? Woo, this gonna be something, okay? So we gonna have to talk about it more as more and more comes out. Let me know what you think. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.
We do not care.